Welcome to another Mondays Live. We are so happy that you are joining us today. Today, we have a festive topic for you all. And before we get into the topic, I wanted to introduce myself. I am Elle Cole, the mom and blogger behind cleverlychanging.com. It is a website that talks about wellness and also homeschooling and parenting. If you go to the top tab that says podcast, you can listen to some of my past podcast episodes. And we hope that you'll also listen to other Mondays Live episodes on our Facebook page, but also follow us on Instagram as well.
And I am Janus Adams, the other half of Mondays Live with Elle and Janus. I'm an author historian and I host the Janus Adams Show on public radio and podcast. And I'm also a mom of twins. So here we go with our synergies. So I know it's a couple weeks later, but we haven't gotten to talk about it. How was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving went well. It was very family oriented, but we stayed home. And I have a sister that's in the area who's also been staying home and working from home. And so we just kind of got together, and that was our Thanksgiving. We didn't use Zoom, but we did kind of connect with family through, because everybody has an iPhone. So we did it through FaceTime. And it was brief because my other family members, some of them did get together. And then some of them just decided to work because some are essential workers. So it wasn't the gathering that we normally have where everybody just takes time to focus on each other. But I have a nephew whose birthday falls on Thanksgiving, who it did this year because, of course, it changes every year. But we celebrated his birthday, saying happy birthday to him. And so it was an enjoyable time for us.
Well, my Thanksgiving was a surprise to me because my daughters really went all out this year. They knew that I was reluctant to get together for Thanksgiving. And so they decided to rent an Airbnb house, two friends of theirs and their children. So it was 9 of them all together. And they actually took the time to quarantine before coming up so that I would be safe, which was just an amazing gift. So, of course, I was planning to do Thanksgiving with them at the Airbnb, and everything was set. The Wednesday when we were talking, I was listening to the news, and I heard that a local restaurant had a COVID outbreak with more employees expected. Now, this local restaurant is actually owned by the person who owns my apartment building. And he had been in my apartment just the week before for a repair with no mask, which really kind of set me on edge. And so I was like backing out of the room. But when I came in, he had no mask on. And so it meant that after all my daughters went through, I had to quarantine to protect them.
Aww.
And all we kept saying was irony, irony, irony. What we did was I did come over and we sat on the porch outside with masks for a little bit, and but it was it was just the most amazing thing. So the question is, so what are we going to do for Christmas, right? And I think that even though it's frankly the only real holiday that I like. Even as a child, I used to insist that my parents, once they put up the tree, my birthday is in January, and the thing was that I wanted the tree to stay up through my birthday, which we always did. I got them to go along with that. And it was, but this year, I don't think so. I think I'm going to have to do what I told my mother years ago, I want because my birthday is in January, I would say I was robbed now. And I want a half birthday. So this pure only child stuff, only an only child can get away with stuff like that. So I think we're going to have a half Christmas this year, next year. We intend to all be good, but therefore I was thinking about, so what would we do for our Zoom Christmas? And I heard someone say that what they are doing is that they are pre-deciding the menu and sharing it with everybody so that everybody can cook and have the same dinner at the same time via Zoom. So, I mean, that it's amazing how things that otherwise might sound corny sound genius. And during it's part of our, it's part of
Yeah.
our adapting. We just had a gap, and I don't know if you spoke. So,
Yeah.
okay, so we can end with my saying it's just part of our adapting. You can cut this out.
Yes. So I'm looking forward to a Zoom Christmas, I guess, just because my mom just celebrated a birthday, and last year we all got together. And it's so, you talked about irony a little bit, but it was over 50 people that flew from all over the country to celebrate her birthday, and we were in close quarters, all of us. But it felt so good being together. And of course, this year we can't be together like that. So we did a video and a slideshow. So we'll share that via Zoom and just kind of reminisce. Many people have already called her because her birthday was a couple days ago, but so many people sent her gifts, and she just loves that. Like, I think her love language is gifts. So she was just so
Oh,
excited. And so I think, we have to kind of celebrate her while she's still here. And so I will be setting that up. I've been tasked with setting that up.
mhm.
And so just to celebrate her. And I don't know, for our family, it's birthday time. So you're talking about birthday. All of these holidays revolve around birthdays
Yes,
in my family.
yeah. We have clusters. We have a November cluster, which begins October 30th with my granddaughter's birthday, then October 30th with my wedding anniversary, October 31st with my granddaughter's birthday, November 1st with my mother's birthday, and November 2nd with my daughter's birthday. And we have a similar cluster like that in January. So, but how wonderful that you got to have that kind of celebration for your mom last year. I mean, that's just great. No, and
Yeah.
very rarely does anybody do that kind of thing every year.
Right.
So, and the fact that you have the video, which, you know,
And the people haven't seen the video. So I think it will be, because we are very close, and we live in different places, but we all shared the same grandmother. And so we haven't been having family reunions like we used to. And so this gives us an opportunity to get together, and for the next generation to even know the other cousins and things like that. Because I feel like over time, because so many people spread out, there is a disconnect for the following generations. But Zoom is giving us, our just virtual, events are giving us a new lease on that. Like, we get to do it over again, where everybody gets to know each other, and you're like, oh, so what are you doing now? So it's just a wonderful gathering time. And I know with my husband's family, they did do a Zoom family reunion, and We just celebrated a wedding anniversary. It was his aunt and uncle's 40th wedding anniversary. And it's just like you always get to meet new people. So it's exciting.
It is. And I actually like some of these Zoom celebrations because when the I hosted our family reunion, the first and only major one we had was over 30 years ago. And I hosted it. And then this year during COVID, I had said, let's do a Zoom family reunion because we had already lost someone. And come on, you know, this is the time. We cannot not acknowledge what happened, and we need to really prize the fact that the rest of us is still here. And so we did that, and everybody was so appreciative of it. It was scheduled for 2 hours. 8 hours later is when it actually everybody finally signed off. I mean, most people signed off at hour 3, but since I had hosted it, I had gone away and from the screen and said, well, let me just do some other things and then come back. And when I came back, a whole group was going hot and heavy, and I realized since I hosted it, I couldn't shut it down, because if I had, it would have just thrown them off. Not 8 hours later, 6 hours later, it was 8 o'clock when it ended. It was supposed to end at 4 o'clock, and it ended at 8 o'clock. So I, but when I have attended other Zoom gatherings versus some live events, I've found in some ways a little bit of an intimacy that in the busyness of whether the reunion that we had 30 years ago as host, I didn't get to spend time with everybody. I was dealing with the caterers. I was dealing with making sure everybody was attended to. I was, all that kind of stuff. So I actually got to sit with my family this time in a way that I didn't before. So, I think we adapt to what we have, but in each situation there are going to just be some wonderful memories made and experiences. And yeah, it's not going to be what it was, but it's not what it's going to be either, and who knows what it's going to be. I mean, our whole lives have changed, and we don't know what's going to happen next. We're saying build back better. We don't know, but if there's anything about being in the now, it's this, and whatever it takes to kind of celebrate who we are when we can. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think it just gives everybody an opportunity to try to connect, because in person, there's always multiple hurdles that, people can foresee. And not everybody from all over the world can gather, but by doing this way, there are less barriers in many cases. And so I'm definitely a proponent of it. I'm excited about it. And it just gives me a new opportunity to hear from some people who in person don't always, they sometimes take a more quiet role. But on Zoom, sometimes you get to hear these stories that you never would have heard before, because you don't necessarily have that intimate time with them.
Yeah.
And so this gives us a chance.
Well, so whatever our holiday MO is going to be, however we're going to do it, it is still about the holiday. It is still about the celebration. It is still about our cultures. We're coming up on Hanukkah, then we're coming up on Christmas, then we're coming up on Kwanzaa, and we've just passed Prophet's Day for our Islamic brothers and sisters. And so, I mean, Look, if there's a lesson that is a takeaway for me from COVID, it is, carpe diem, on seizing even just the chance to say hi, to smile, to celebrate, to be happy, and I'll take it.
Yes, me too.
Me too. So for Mondays Live with Elle and Janus, I'm Janus Adams.
And I'm Elle Cole. Bye now.
Bye now.